Hello guys, and welcome to the third part of organizing your runes. And in today's video we will talk about runes for marksman and mage. I will see if it's two parts or one part, depend on how long this video will be. I will try and give you all you need in order to organize and know how to play your heroes and how to build their runes so they can give you the most benefits. So please leave a like, subscribe, and make sure to join our Discord. We are a small community, but we are having a lot of fun and sharing knowledge. And for now, enjoy the video. So guys, the most important heroes in your lineup are mainly your marksman or your mage, or let's call them your DPS, damage per second. It's the most important heroes in your lineup, and you need at least one or two of them in your lineup in order to make damage to the enemies and make sure you kill them. Keep in mind that we have two types of DPS. The first type that include dealing damage, and the damage is based on how much damage and attack you have, and then it's multiplied. And some other heroes like Abyssal Queen, we will take her. She deals damage depending on your target HP. So your most important thing here is to have more attack, because it's mainly to have 18% of enemies HP, but it's maximum 350% of Abyssal Queen attack. So basically if you put more crit damage on this, it will not help you. And here what helps you the most is having more penetration. So I will try to explain them and give you a list of what heroes are crit and what heroes are penetration, so you can maximize your efficiency. I will start by explaining some basic on your heroes. Because they are DPS, they will always have some damage increase, or they will have even boost here, which is crit rate. And this is like the most important things to keep an eye, and this what explains your hero's needs and what usually helps him getting more damage. As you can see, for Gunslinger it says armor penetration, and for Abyssal Queen and Witch it will say damage increase, if I'm not mistaken. Damage increase. So it's basically giving more damage. It's nothing related to crit rate, but if you pay attention to the rune, it says crit rate here. So let's get started with the basics. I will try to explain these. So mostly for your marksmans, you will need to have energy regen on your energy runes. It's not about attacking, it's more about energy regen. As you know, most of the marksmans have high attack, as you see, 3.5 seconds, and also for the mage it's almost 5 seconds, and if we take another example, 4 seconds. So you basically need more energy regen based passively, so it regenerates every second. If you can have multiple of these, it will be perfect. And not to get attack energy regen, it can be extra, but mainly you will need increased regen per second. And mostly for all the heroes like marksman, I will give example. In the awakening tree, it says when an enemy releases energy skill, increase on energy recovery speed by 50%. And this is what energy regen is. If you have more energy regen, you will have even more. Same applies to Gunslinger. It says in the first one, upon entering battle, increase self-energy recovery speed by 40%. This means if you have a lot of energy increase, it will have more speed of getting ultimates. So for the marksmans, usually you will need more energy regen. It works also with your mage and having one at least attack energy regen. And then the most important things is to have energy increase and the surplus. These two are the most important ones. This rune, as an example, you can take it as perfect one. Maybe have 2 energy regen instead of this when attacked, and you will have the perfect rune. 1 attack energy, 2 energy regeneration, 1 energy increase, 1 energy surplus, and you are set to go. That's the perfect rune for marksmans or for the mages. For your HP rune, here you need to pay attention. If you are in the backside and you are trying to avoid gunslingers, you will need to have crit damage resistance. This will reduce the damage dealt by crit. Also, you will need to have for sure more defense and then physical resistance and magic resistance. One more thing you need to pay attention is to have defense or crit damage resistance. I don't suggest to have, I don't know if I have one, this anti-crit rate. Don't get it, because usually you're trying to reduce the chance of getting crit rate. In my opinion, have 2 of crit damage resistance on your marksman or mage is better than this. You will reduce 40% for sure, instead of having 3% of it not happening, but if it happens, it will hit you hard. So just make sure you have more crit damage resistance, more defense, and more HP, and any damage reduction you want. Range damage reduction, by the way, works for mage and for range, so it's definitely worth getting. So back to here, get crit damage resistance, get range damage reduction, and get defense and HP. For your effect rune, here you will only need to focus on 2 things, maybe 3. HP regeneration, so you keep healing. If you can get 2% of this, it will be like you having a healer in your team. Just try to get 2 of these, and each one of them is 90% or 1%. That will be so fucking good. And then you will need attack speed. As you saw, they have a lot of high hats attack speed, and you will need to reduce this. And your only way to reduce it is using more attack speed here. And then you will need to get control resistance. So HP regeneration, attack speed, and control resistance. These all 3 you need. Maybe anti-control if you want, but mainly you will just need HP regeneration, attack speed, and anything that reduces the control. Now, for your attack runes, here where things get a little bit tricky. For gunslinger, I am aiming to have the most crit damage. As you see, I am sitting at 188, and my crit rate is 42. So, if we pay attention, gunslinger, shadow master, the witch, they all work about crit and crit damage. As you can see here, it's even giving you bonuses. Here damage increase, but you're mainly getting crit rate and crit damage. So as you can see, my runes always having 1 crit rate, crit damage, and then anything that gives you damage increase or physical damage increased or magic damage increase. These the main thing that you need to look for gunslinger and shadow master. As you can see here again, crit rate, crit damage, and mainly in my opinion, if you are running Doomfang, you will need to have at least 2 crit damage in all the runes. If you are not running Doomfang, you will need to have 2 crit rate and not crit damage, and then 1 crit damage, because you will need crit. So in my opinion, all your runes should have 1 crit rate, 2 crit damage if you are running Doomfang. If you are not, you can have 2 crit rate and 1 crit damage, and then you will be fine. As you can see here, even my mythic rune has good stats on crit damage and crit rate. Also, if you pay attention, as we said in the beginning of the video, for Abyssal Queen, her abilities mainly uses HP of the enemies. This is the most important ability for Abyssal Queen, and her damage is about penetration, so you will need to have more attack. So if I have her runes here, I will have more attack. I don't have her runes organized, but I will go for more attack. As we explained it in the last video, you go for more attack and then armor penetration, and then you can add some crit and crit damage. But the most important things you need for Abyssal Queen is attack and armor penetration, and then have crit and crit damage. It's not important to have them, but it's different from Gunslinger. And usually you can find these things, depends on your hero. I will try to go like over them very fast. For example, for Hela, you will need armor penetration and attack you don't need to have crit rate on her. Same with Abyssal Queen. Same with, I think, which can works with either of them. You can have a crit rate build and also have crit armor penetration. It depends on your lineup and how she works and what pets you have available. For me, as you can see, like, she is so low in crit damage, and usually the mage ones has less option to have more attack runes compared to the marksmans. So marksmans usually have more ability to have more crit rate and crit damage, and that's why Doomfang works with them better. In my opinion, you should never use Doomfang on mage unless you have very high attack damage, crit damage. But yeah, in my opinion, all the mages should run penetration with armor penetration with more attack, and maybe a little bit of crit damage and crit rate, and that's only because you have 2 attack runes and not 3, and you have more energy. So you are just trying to make as much as ultimates as you can, and you just need to make sure your ultimates deals enough damage, and that comes with penetration. So in my opinion, as I said, if you are running crit damage build, make sure all your runes have crit rate, crit damage, and then damage increase or physical damage increase for marksman. And if you are running mage, you should go with more damage increase, penetration, and use more attack. As I explained here, for the mage it will be the same thing, but the difference is you will have 2 energy regen. So just run the same thing. You need energy regen, 2 of them, energy increase, surplus, and 1 attack energy. It's the same thing for marksman and for mages. Yeah, that's it guys for this video. I explained to you how to build your marksman and your mages. This is a fast, quick video just to explain the basics, and I think you will know how to build them. No one will have all the magic or all the things that you need in the same rune. As you can see here, this is an example of good rune for the magic, but for sure have more better stats on it. So yeah, you will never have the perfect runes, but you try to get as much as you can and build your heroes as much as you can, because mostly the things are random and you don't have control over them. And if you have control, you will most likely need to build them. As you can see here, I'm trying to build this one to become better, but it's not easy to get what you need, so you will keep refining and trying to build them. So guys, thank you for watching. Please make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and join us in the Discord. It's fun there. We are all talking and you can reach me out personally. And yeah,